Yo, people, what's going on? Back again for another footy talk, and boy, what difference a week has made. Savo, what's happening, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you? It's crazy. Some crazy transfer rumors going on, Rants. Like madness.
It's horrible for us anyway. Like, it's horrible.
I mean, listen, I'm going to honestly listen from a Spurs perspective. I'm seeing today that Bayern Munich are wanting Eric Dyer. Have they not seen Eric Dyer defend?
And
like,
Scott McTominay, bro. Like, not just Eric Dyer, Scott McTominay as well. And Chalobah, bro. Tuchel, yeah, needs to go to jail. The best thing that Chelsea did was get rid of that guy. That guy's an absolute fraud. I don't know, man. Like, I didn't realize how bad Tuchel was, yeah. But now I'm realizing how bad he is.
I'll tell you the funny thing about it is we were just on a show. Me and Henry were saying that it's almost as though Harry Kane is the world's best wingman, that he's got to Bayern Munich and gone, do you know what we really need, Gaffer? My best mate, Eric, he's looking for a club. Go and get him. I mean, he's so bad. Like Eric Dyer, I'm sitting there going, I don't think he gets in top half championship clubs.
Yeah.
And then Bayern Munich want him. Yes, please. Rants, listen, whatever money you raise today from YouTube, can you pay for his flight, please, to Munich? I want this guy gone. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. He can go and play with Kim Min-jae. Who they got? Upper Meccano.
Yeah, some joke.
Delit. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. Anyway, happy Tuesday.
Yeah, my days. Like, honestly, like, Thomas Tuchel's not serious. Like, I don't know. I just don't even know. When I heard McTominay and I heard, bro, there's talks of swaps for Ryan Gravenberch for McTominay. Like, what? How can you not want Gravenberch but you want McTominay? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't know. I don't know what he's smoking over there, bro. I really don't know.
Yeah, there's something going on, isn't there, in the world of football? I mean, first of all, I saw that they wanted Chalobah for like 50 million. I'm thinking, Chalobah, what, 50 million? Okay, cool. Then I'm seeing Cucurella coming to you lot like on a 2 million loan or whatever. Like Gravenberch, where's he going to end up? This is just mental. Spurs apparently going to be 50 million for Brennan Johnson. Shoot me now. Like, what is... The market's gone mental, mate. The market's gone like to the point where it's not even just like we go, oh, that's what the market is. It's just got ridiculous. Like crap players going for £50 million is just madness.
50 million is the new 20 million. It's like, that's the standard like amount of money that everyone goes for now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's be fair. If what's his name? If Chalobah goes for £50 million, and Brennan Johnson goes for £50 million, you have to ask yourself, how on earth are these two players going for a combined 100 million? Like, that is just absolutely mental. Like, but hey, listen, we're just fans. What can we do about it, eh?
Oh, man, I just hope that the majority of the stuff that I'm hearing, yeah, the players that Man United are linked to, I just hope that these don't happen in it and they're not real, because they're very alarming if there's any sort of truth in them.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I'll tell you what, listen, especially from a YouTube point of view, it's funny to see all the different rumors and like nothing surprises me, Rants. I'm waking up to deals where you go, there's no chance they'll want him. And it's like, oh wow, they are. They're in talks with so and so. Like Arsenal playing Kiwior at left back whilst letting Kieran Tierney go out to Real Sociedad. It's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know anymore. I just don't understand football. That's what it is. I don't get it anymore.
It's weird, man. And it's like, in this era where they say that clubs do all this extensive research on players and they've got all these statistics, why are all these managers just going after players that they know or players that they've managed? Like,
yeah,
if they've got all this information, then why is Thomas Tuchel trying to raid the Premier League? Like, it's weird. And it's not even for top players as well, like Chalobah, like McTominay. Like, and then they've been linked with Gallagher as well. It's like, he's not even going for the good players. Like, you're out by Munich.
Yeah, listen,
and
it's
Eric
absolutely
Dyer.
mad. Oh, it's mad. Listen, I'm happy. Eric Dyer's got 1 year left on his contract, right? And last week he was giving it the whole, oh, I'm going to stay and fight for my place. And all the fans are like, no, Eric, don't. Like, this isn't about you fighting for your place. Like, you're not good. Like, go away. You've been here for 10 years. So listen, he can go and be a roomie for Harry Kane. But it's just crazy. Like, I look at Bayern Munich's defenders, right? And they've got De Ligt, Upamecano, and Kim Min-jae, who they've just bought for, I don't know, 50 million or whatever they paid for him. You're thinking, wouldn't you then go and back that up with like a young, up-and-coming centre-half who's 18, lots of promise or something? What are you going to go for Eric Dyer for? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
The
get
thing is,
it.
Eric Dyer is at very best, yeah. Eric Dyer's like cover, innit? Cover for the cover. So yeah, you definitely don't
That's
need
polite. That's a polite way of saying Deadwood, isn't it?
Yeah, so
Cover for the cover.
because he's cover for the cover, yeah, it's like, why do you need to go get a player of his profile and his age?
Yeah. It's just mad. Like, if I'm a Bayern Munich fan, I'm thinking to myself, right, okay, Kim Min-jae, cool. Harry Kane, yeah, one of the world's best strikers. Now I'm looking at Chalobah, Dyer. It's like, oh, hang on, what's going on here? We're losing Pavard and bringing in Eric Dyer. Like, just doesn't make sense. But look, I'm happy. I'm happy about this not making sense. I don't want him anywhere near Tottenham.
No,
Hotspur.
listen, and it's a good day, yeah, for Tottenham if they get rid of Dyer. It doesn't matter where he goes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
most
anyway.
importantly, it's why they're saying there's a bidding war between Dortmund and Bayern for Eric Dyer. It's like, what have you seen in the last 5 years? Like, do you know what I
bidding
mean?
war.
Like, bro, for Dyer. Do you know what I mean? Like,
last
but
week,
then again,
I was going to
we
start
saw
a
Jordan
GoFundMe.
Henderson get 700k a week to play football somewhere. So
It's
football
mad.
right now is on his head, bro. Like, I just can't.
It's mad. Listen, last week I'm thinking of starting a GoFundMe page to pay out Dyer's last contract, like to pay out his last year, which is like 3 million. And then it's like Dortmund and Bayern. Like, Eric Dyer must be thinking he's in a dream. This can't be real. From not getting anywhere near the Spurs squad to the 2 best teams in Germany wanting you. Nah, it's wrong. It's wrong. This guy should be in the French league playing for, I don't know, Mainz, they're German. Someone like Rennes or, I don't know.
Rennes or something.
Like
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, no, bro, 100%. But like somebody in the chat said, Eric Dyer using his agent here to get a new contract at Spurs.
Oh, don't. Let's not go there. I don't want to hear that. That'll ruin my day. This guy can listen. This will be, at the moment, he's in his 10th season at Tottenham Hotspur, right? If ever you look back at, sometimes you look at people and say they're winning in life, like they've cheated the system. Like one of my mates,
Jordan Henderson's on 700k a week, bro. I watched Al Hilal absolutely cook Al Ettifaq yesterday, and this guy must have had like 6 touches on the ball, man. Like, literally 100 grand a week, yeah, for every touch he had yesterday. Like, he got, bruv, that team's awful, bruv. Like,
is that's Gerrard's team, right?
Gerrard's team, they got absolutely fist up, man.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. At some point, we spoke about this a few weeks ago, Rants. At some point, it's got to stop. The market cannot keep being that everybody and anybody is 50 million plus. Like, we've been having the conversation. Look, I always use this sentence. Every single thing that happens at Spurs divides opinion, right? And this Brennan Johnson deal that apparently is on the cards is another one. I'm looking at it, Rants, and going, 50 million, sorry, but this is brutally underwhelming. There's other fans giving it the whole, if it's who the manager wants, that kind of thing, where they haven't got their own opinion, agree with that. Right? And then I'm looking at this, right? Sorry to shift it to Brennan Johnson, but it's still with the transfers, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking at players that have moved on the right wing and players that play in the right wing, or the left wing for clubs in the Premier League, right? Now, let's assume Brennan Johnson signs at 50 million. This is all hypothetical because he's not signed yet. Diaby of Villa, who is twice, maybe 3-4 times the player Brennan Johnson is, went for £42 million. Jeremy Doku went to Man City for £51 million, right? Eze, 10 times the player that Brennan Johnson is. Elise, much better than Brennan Johnson. Mbeumo of Brentford, I would take him all day long over Brennan. Do you know what I mean? Like, Jared Bowen of West Ham. Like 50 million rants. Now we're paying for guys that have had 1 year in the Premier League and are quick. Like, what sort of scouting is that? That is awful.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I'm so 50 million.
Listen, you're not the only one. I'm telling you, we're getting linked with your rubbish. Hojbjerg. You know, like that, bro. Bruv, that guy's hurt. Bruv, he's such an awful player. Like, I've never rated him, like, ever. Even when he was playing well for you lot, or what you lot would call well, I always thought this guy was a scrub. Like, I've never, ever been a fan of Hojbjerg. Like, he's just a passion merchant. I've seen this guy celebrate, a back pass, bro. Like, there's something wrong with him. Like, I don't understand what it is. Like, he's beyond basic. He's beyond basic.
On his day, he is world class.
Yeah, but how often is his day, bro? Was it a leap year or something? Do you know what I mean?
I can't say it with a straight face. This guy is never world class, never has been world class. There's a reason. There's a reason why Bayern Munich shifted him to Southampton. Look, do you know what he's brilliant at? Right? He's brilliant at pumping his chest, giving it this.
That's it.
Celebrating tackles.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen him shield the ball back to the keeper and celebrate. I'm like, what is this? Like, this guy is an absolute loser. Like, who celebrates shielding the ball back to the goalkeeper? Like, man. Oh, man.
Do you know what? If you had seen my show, I do a show every morning at 10, and it's brilliant, right? We just get so many Spurs fans on, and again, so much divide. I was sitting there going, "Oi, if Man United want to offer us anywhere between 30 and 40 million pounds for Hojbjerg, I am driving him to Manchester. Yeah. I'm going to give him a 3-course meal to settle him in. I'm going to find him somewhere in a brothel. I'm going to do all I can to give him away for 30, 40 million. We got Spurs fans going, oh, I don't know. He's a good player. He's a good squad. What? 30, 40 million for you guys are welcome to him, Rants. He's yours. You can have him.
Awful player. Like, the fact that we've been linked with him, and our manager's got previous with him, it worries me because our manager he's getting a reputation, you know what I mean, now for just going back to Holland or to Germany or wherever he's meeting these players and going and getting players that he's already worked with, and he's taking the club backwards, man. He's taking our club backwards, and the thing is, he's not a big manager. Like, do you know what I mean? I didn't have a problem with Louis van Gaal, going after players he'd worked with because he was trying to sign Thomas Muller. Do you know what I'm saying? But Ten Hag has managed Ajax. Like, it's not like, do you know what I mean? It's not Barcelona. It's not Bayern Munich. This is a disgrace. Like, I can't even believe that he's gone and bought Anthony was flopped. He bought Mason Mount because he saw Mason Mount on loan in the Dutch league when he was there. Like, what is this? Like, this is an absolute travesty. Like, the guy can't survive this. If we end up with Hojbjerg, even though I don't think we will, if we end up with him, he needs to leave, bruv. I'll be honest.
Yeah, look, on a serious note, if I look, all jokes aside, right? I do not know why Man United would want Hojbjerg. I'd be so happy to sell him. Spurs are really bad, Rants, at shifting players. We spend a lot of money, but never actually recoup any money. So if we could get 30, 40 million for him, great. Look, what will he offer Man United? He'll work hard. He'll work hard, right? That's all I can say. He'll work hard. You'll soon find out. I'm not saying you don't know this already. You'll soon find out that he looks like he's running in treacle most of the time. He every now and then he picks out a pass, but it's every now and then. For me, I think this guy is. I'm not gonna be horrible. This guy for me screams Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, Wolves. Screams that sort of level, and I'm not being horrible to those teams. I genuinely do not think he's good enough for Man United. And from what I've seen of you guys and what you need, this isn't the guy that's going to move you forward. You can't go from Amrabat linked all summer to Hojbjerg in the last 3 days.
Bruv, move us forward. He doesn't even move us sideways, bruv. He takes us backwards.
Yeah,
like, he's not better than Scott McTominay.
Yeah, just quickly, Zay in your chat. Listen, dude, I've seen 3 times you said now that I've been rating him on my channel. Dude, I am getting it in the ear from Spurs fans for being one of the only ones that wants to sell Højbjerg. So you got to stop those lies, my friend. Stop those lies. He's not good. Like, what's happened to Amrabat, Rants? Why are you able to buy Højbjerg but not Amrabat? What's gone on there?
I don't think we're not able to buy Amrabat. The problem is, Amrabat's in the last year of his contract. Man United are aware that he hasn't been training and he's trying to force a move. So because of that, we're trying to lowball them by the looks of it. It looks like we're willing to let it run down as late as possible because we know the player wants us, and also we also know the team has to sell. So United are being tight. That's just all it is. Like they're just trying to be cute, innit? Like that's just all it is because the player hasn't even been training. So it's not a thing where like there's any danger of him staying. Like they know he's leaving.
Yeah.
So I think United are just being they're being bastards really. That's what they're doing, innit? But I just can't be bothered. Just go get him. We need him like yesterday, bruv. Like you know what I mean. But they'll wait till the final day.
Yeah, it's certainly crazy. I mean, what do you make of the Cucurella stuff? I mean, he was excellent at Brighton.
I'll take him just for that reason.
Mm.
They're saying
I think he's just been badly treated. I think he's been
same.
Like all Chelsea players last year. I think it's so difficult to judge those Chelsea players from last year. Different formations, different tactics, constantly rotated. I don't think he's a bad player. But how long is Shaw out for? Is it a while?
We don't know, but he could take his time, mate. I'm telling you. Like it's just one of them ones where honestly, like he's such a bad player. Do you know what I mean? He's decent at centre half. At left back, he's useless. Like I don't rate him at all. I wouldn't mind him as backup centre back. Get rid of Harry Maguire. Play Luke Shaw as a centre back, and then you've got Malacia and you've got Cucurella. I'm cool with that. Do you know what I mean? Let Harry Maguire go. We don't need to replace him. Play Luke Shaw at centre back. I ain't trying to see this guy at left back, man. So he can take as long as he needs. Like he's oh man, I'm so done with him. I'm so done with Luke Shaw, and it's been years now. So I don't care how long he's out for. I'll be completely honest. The fact that we're looking at another left back tells me that he's out for a while.
Yeah, I just think it's like, if I can talk about your club, I just find it so strange. Like some of the names you're linked with all of a sudden, like I'm seeing like you linked with Reguilon and Højbjerg, like two players that don't make our team.
And
like,
Tagliafico we've been linked with, and also we've been linked with Marcus Alonso, bro.
Marcus Alonso, Serge Reguilon, Højbjerg, Cucurella. I don't know. It just feels like, I'll say what I said last week. You're Man United.
It's nasty.
You're one of the biggest clubs in world football. These names shouldn't be. These boys shouldn't be linked with you.
No.
This shouldn't be where you're at as a football club.
The thing is, when we hear Man United linked with these players, we should immediately laugh it off because we'd be like, yeah, this is nonsense. But the fact is, there's some legs to these things because where they coming from?
I think it's panic. I think it's got to be panic. I mean, no one's going to tell me that all window you've had these types of players on your radar, right? No one's going to tell me that at the beginning of the window you had the likes of Cucurella and Højbjerg in your range, right? I just don't understand how, when you got all these other deals done, like was it Anana and Højlund, sorry.
Højlund,
too many Hoys. Højlund, and Mason Mount. I can't understand how at that time the bid wasn't slapped down and a deal done for Amrabat within days. Like, he's not in the Fiorentina squad. He's training on his own. Clearly, he's going to go or something to that effect. I just don't understand what Man United are doing. But you're falling behind the other big clubs. That's what I know at the moment.
It's all right. You know what I mean? You know what, in life, what they say, things have to get worse before they get better, innit? And it's one of them ones where the takeover's pending, bro. And it's one of them ones where, you know what, if we need to go into the gutter, to rise again, then so be it. Because right now, it looks like these men are trying to destroy my football club. That's what it looks like. I'll be completely honest. And the new owners need to come in, get rid of the manager, and get rid of Arnold, and get rid of Myrtle, and get rid of everyone, and just we just need a complete
start again,
restructuring of.
You need to do what City did all those years
ago. But we're gonna have to. Because
Yeah.
don't think that they're not going to come in, look at Manchester City as the benchmark. They're going to.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
not going to come in and say, oh, we're going to keep things how they are. Like, no. You don't spend that much money to keep things how they are. It's been proven that the way the clubs run, yeah, is not a recipe for success. So why would they keep it the same? Like, they need to
Yeah.
make a lot of changes, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And the manager picking players makes absolutely no sense. Like, the whole thing just needs to be scrapped, thrown in the bin, bro. The manager can go with the rest of these guys because he doesn't have a
Yeah.
clue what he's doing. Like, and it's one thing people saying, go and get a recruitment team and all these things to get players for him. But I'll be completely honest, yeah, it's like I don't trust him to give him players that he doesn't necessarily want because he's shown that he's stubborn enough to just not play them anyway.
Yeah.
Similar to what Conte done with Jed
Jed
Spence
Spence.
and players like that. Do you know what I mean? So no. We need
He's
to get
left
him out of
today.
there.
He's
Where's he
gone
gone
today as
now?
well. Leeds on loan.
Hopefully he gets a game there.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, but no, you're right. This is the problem. If I've said this all along, you can have the best manager, or you can have the best director of football. If you don't have both, if you don't have them both on the same page, it doesn't mean anything because your club can go out and identify amazing talent, and if the manager doesn't want to play them, what chance you got? And in an ideal world, surely that. Listen, I know this sounds really basic, Rants, and what I'm about to say, people are going to go, "Well, duh, of course," but surely the manager, the recruitment team, and the director of football must be having weekly, monthly meetings every week, every month, whatever it is, where they sit down and go, right, what are we looking for here? Right, here's 10 players. What do you think of these? And the manager's going, listen, I'll be honest, if you bought him, that's not me. I wouldn't start them. Cool. Well, we won't look at them then. But it almost feels like a lot of clubs now just go and buy loads and loads of players. Then the manager's like, all right, well, I didn't quite want him or him. Then you've got players that have moved for no reason, sitting on benches, ruining their careers. Joe Rodon at Spurs. I mean, he's been at Spurs now for, someone will correct me, 4 years, 3 years, 3.5, 4 years. Never given a full game because he's not good enough. Loaned out here, loaned out there. That's not a career.
No,
That's
it's
not a
not.
career. It's
No, but you know what it
madness.
is? The problem with this situation is what's meant to happen is you get your football director. Your football director is supposed to bring in the manager, and then they're supposed to work together.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to know the style of play that the manager wants, and he's supposed to know the profile of player the manager wants, and he's supposed to service the manager that way. The problem is you have the club working in commercial with commercial interests that will push for certain players. So the club might push for a young English player because of the potential resale value later on. That's got nothing to do with what the manager wants. You know what I mean? And then you have your marquee signings that again are commercial signings where they'll
Yeah.
say, all right, cool, I know you don't want him, but Neymar's available or this player's available. Do you know what I mean? He might not fit with what you want. It's just like what they were doing with the Harry Kane situation. He doesn't fit the profile that Man United wanted, but everyone's like Man United should go buy Harry Kane because he's Harry Kane. Do you know what I mean? And usually United would go and do that. You know what I mean? And it's one of them ones where I feel like a similar thing happened with Jadon Sancho, where we signed him because he was young, English, resale value, homegrown
Right.
quota, big name, all of that. We signed him because of that. We didn't sign him because of what we thought we were going to do with him.
Right.
Do you know what I
Not
mean?
for a
And
philosophy or a
no.
system, just a name. Yeah, just a name.
Just bro, because they're just assets to the club.
Yeah,
So the
yeah,
club
yeah,
just
yeah.
buy these guys and they say, you know what, they're assets. Worst case scenario, you know what I mean, we'll make our money back on them or we can sell them for more. That's all they're thinking about. They're not thinking about a system or a strategy or anything like that. Man United have been recruiting like that for a long time. That's why we signed Alexis Sanchez and players like that. Signed Alexis Sanchez in January. Didn't even know where the hell we were going to play him. Like, we were playing well before we signed him. We didn't need him.
I mean, look, this is it. And listen, I don't want to go back to City, but this is exactly what City don't do. City don't just buy big name players for the sake of being big name players.
No.
They've got a list of players they want that fits Pep's system. And I can't understand how so many other clubs can't seem to get this right. Like Chelsea, they seem like they're just buying players for whatever rather than buying players for a system. But I
They're
think I
buying
think it's
players definitely for resale value as well. Hence why they're
sure.
they're targeting young players, and then they're paying for them over a long amount. So do you know what I mean? The thing is, if Chelsea, for instance, Chelsea signed Caicedo for 10 years, 115, then what? It's 11.5 million a year. So if in 3 years they sell him for even 80 million, do you know what I mean? That's still a profit of 50 something million or
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
books. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like these guys know what they're doing, bruv. Like it's not like if anyone understands business, then you understand that most of these signings are not to do something right now. Like they're looking at how much money they can make on potentially selling these players, or if they do develop, great. Do you know what I mean? But it's always with business in mind instead of instant success in mind, or else they wouldn't be buying that profile of player, if that makes sense.
That, mate, absolutely. I absolutely agree. I think so much of football now is about thinking about 5 years down the line as to what can players make you. And there's not enough emphasis, I don't think, put on what do we need now. I get it. It's a tough one. I get that clubs have got to balance this. But I would say this, Rants. For me, I think you can tell how many teams don't have an identity and a philosophy by just how many signings they make every summer, right? If you've got a really good identity and philosophy, like back in the day when Man United had Ferguson, etc., and Pep with Barcelona now, you replace those who go out, add maybe one or two. Now clubs are just buying 5, 6, 7, 8 new signings every window. And then fans wondering why the team doesn't gel, why it's not good, why the manager's not winning. Honestly, it's gone mad. It's gone absolutely mad. But hey, it is what it is. Poch is on the TV right now saying that they're not ruling out more signings. They've
Yeah,
just
they're
had
not done.
just the 8 or 9 or whatever they've had so far this
Bro, they
window.
probably know, yeah, that they've got a transfer ban pending, yeah, so they're just looking to get everyone
Yeah.
in before then, do you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And Fulham, even Fulham are like in talks of like 4 players right now. Like, it's just that the world's gone mad. It's fun, right? It's fun to see, but I mean, Fabrizio Romano's thumbs must be doing absolute overtime. he must
Yeah,
be
he's cooking
shattered.
right now.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. The man is earning, right? The man
Yeah.
is earning silly money. But like if I go to Fabrizio Romano's page, which I've got now, right? Normally he posts something like once on the hour or whatever it might be. Now the last thing he posted, look, there you go, 1 minute ago, Nuno Tavares to Forest. Before that, it was 4 minutes ago, and then it was 8 minutes ago. Like that's a sign of the times. It didn't used to be this. It didn't used to be this in Windows.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It's horrendous, bro. Like, I, I just can't in it. Like, it's painful, man. It's painful seeing this. Like, there's not one player that we've been linked to recently that I'm remotely excited about.
Do you know what? I've said the same thing at Spurs. I feel a lot of Spurs fans are trying to force excitement for players like Brennan Johnson, right? And I'm sitting there going, there's no player that I'm thinking, oh, I cannot wait to see you in a Spurs shirt. Like Maddison was, I'll give him that. But all of these
Oh yeah,
players that we're mentioned with now, I'm looking at going, yeah, all right. Yeah, okay. But hey, I don't know. Maybe I'm old. I think I'm getting old and I'm getting too cynical for all this football stuff. But I think something's going to give. I don't know. What do you think? Can it keep going like this year in, year out in the transfer market?
yeah. I think it can. I think it can and it will. And then something crazy will happen. You know what I mean? Whether it's drafts or salary caps or something like that. But while money keeps being generated, I don't think there's any reason to kind of to stop it, because at the end of the day, all of these guys are in the business of making profit. Like
Yeah,
these
of
are all
course.
businesses, these football clubs, so they're gonna try and maximize profit, yeah, as much as they can, and I can't see them changing away from that. Like, look at your football club. It's not even a football club first and foremost anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at your stadium. That stadium was not built for football. It was built for everything but football. So, like, this is the way that things are going now. Like, I think everyone's kind of bought into the fact that these things are brands and their businesses, and the football's almost secondary.
Oh, for sure. Oh, at Spurs, football isn't even secondary. Like, football is a strand of something our owners do. Listen, oh God, there's a nice fake account about me.
Oh,
Superb. Oh,
like,
I've got some crackers about me, man. I'm guessing you've
nah.
got some fake ones about you.
Bro, like, yeah, man, it's just these guys have nothing better to do. They're weirdos, man. Do you know what I mean? Big
No.
up Benji for the super chat. Indifferent about Hoiberg link, but I'm here for Kukurea. He's quick to look to cross, then settle for build up or could suit us. Yeah, 100% agreed. Like, someone like Hoyland, yeah, like, he will put the ball in the box, innit? Like, from what I've seen of him at Brighton, like, forget the Chelsea thing, but he puts the ball, yeah, in the box, innit? So it's one of them things where if you're centre forward, you'd rather him than Luke Shaw, innit? So
Yeah, I mean, what's happening with Hoyland then? Like, is he still injured? Is that why he's not being played?
this is his first full week of training this week. They're saying
Right.
he'll be in the squad for the game on the weekend, but I don't see him getting much time on the weekend, man.
And you've got, is it Arsenal?
Yeah, on Sunday.
Where is it?
It's like this.
That is. What do you think? Is this a good time to be playing Arsenal
Bro, listen.
with Thomas Partey at right back?
I'll be completely honest, yeah. I don't think they'll play Party at right back against us. I think the manager will change
I
it.
don't.
Do you know what I mean? I think the manager changes it. I think the manager goes back to what he knows against us. Especially because we done them in pre-season as well. Like, even though it was only pre-season, we done them. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I do not think for 1 second he's turning up with Thomas Partey at right back. I think he's gonna go back to what he knows. He's gonna bring Gabriel back in. And he's probably gonna drop Havertz. I don't see him starting Havertz against us. I'll be completely honest. Like, I don't see it. If he does, I'll be extremely surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like, I feel like Arteta is desperately trying too hard. He's desperately trying to reinvent the wheel in the way that Pep Guardiola does. And listen, that takes years of knowledge and know-how and understanding your philosophy and winning. And now all of a sudden, like, I don't know about you, tell me if I'm wrong. I look at a midfield three that I think everyone thought it was going to be: Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Right, as that three, that's got everything you want in a midfield three. It's got goals and creativity from Odegaard, the box to box from Declan Rice, the defensive ability from Rice, the power in the tackle and the recoveries of Partey and Rice. And then he starts Havertz in there and Partey at right back, and you're thinking,
no, but you know what I think the plan was? I
Go on.
think the plan was to play Partey and, well, actually, no. Let me go backwards, because first the plan was to sell Partey.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then whoever they were going to replace Thomas Partey with, I don't think that they could get, so they kept him. And then the plan was to play Timber as the inverted right-sided right back, but then he got injured because Timber can play in midfield as well. So I think the plan was to play Timber where Partey is and play Partey in midfield, and then Timber's got injured. So now he's like, all right, cool. I don't have the inverted right back, so I'm gonna play Partey there instead.
Yeah.
That's how I think he got to where he is. So almost like Partey is doing the Timber job, but Partey can't do that. He doesn't overlap like Timber. He's not as good on the ball, in my opinion, as Timber, and he doesn't have the defensive know-how. So it's a recipe for disaster, bro. Like, it makes absolutely no sense what this guy is doing, man. Like,
I just don't get it. When you've got a player like Partey, listen, whatever people think of him personally, whatever, he's a very good midfielder, right? At the end of the day, he was Arsenal's best midfielder last year. Sorry about the yawning. What you would do is surely just keep what works. You would keep Partey in there. They've got Ben White who can play right back. Right, I don't understand.
Bro, and he played really well there last season at right back as well.
Right,
why change it?
Right, that's what I mean. I don't know. Don't change what wasn't broken. Like, you've added Rice instead of Xhaka, cool. Just go with that as your change. Go with that as your change. All right, Timber's got injured. Go with the same team as last year. Rice for Xhaka. Keep it going. As a rival fan, a rival in terms of the league position, but obviously they're our main rivals, it's good to see. I don't mind watching Arsenal with Partey at right back and Havertz in midfield. I don't mind that. That weakens them.
Oh, massively. And
what's funny is AFTV's become exciting again for rival fans to watch. Do you remember, like, years ago before Arsenal were finishing second and stuff like that, all of the AFTV was like, and listen, Robbie did a genius, right? Because even Spurs fans were, oh my God, AFTV tonight, we're all tuning
AFTV and chill,
Robbie's
man.
doing that. Robbie's doing that, right? And we watched it going, oh, look at all of these people having a go at each other, and they're fighting each other, and they're all falling out. Then it all went away. Just the last couple of games, every time now, AFTV, and all they're talking about is Havertz. And I do feel slightly sorry for him, because this isn't all on Havertz. The manager's the one who signed him and picks him. But
certain men were telling me that in Arsenal system, he was going to be unlocked, bruv. In that Xhaka role, bro. Them man were telling me that Arteta saw something that no one else did. So I don't know what he saw, bruv. Do you know what I mean? He got 6th sense in it, Arteta. Because, boy, I don't know what he thought that Havertz was going to do. But, hey, yo, the maths is not mathing, bro. You know what I mean? It's not mathing. And the thing is with Kai Havertz is, he's very much a confidence player. You can even see it by his body language, innit? And it's kind of like he's getting no confidence. He's getting cooked by AFTV, and every Arsenal player watches AFTV. I don't care what they tell you.
Oh, for
Do you know what I mean?
sure.
Because you can't avoid it.
It's massive like that. Now. Like, it's huge.
Bro, like, AFTV is as big as the football club. Like, whether people like it or not. Like, it's literally like, do you know what I mean? With United, there's loads of different channels. With Arsenal, it's AFTV, bruv. Like, it's literally, it might as well be the club's channel, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how big it is. So there's no Arsenal player that don't watch AFTV. I don't care.
Like, was it Simon Jordan who went on to AFTV?
Yeah, bruv. Gary Neville's been on there, bruv.
They're massive. But listen, it's always good fun, because I used to love it. Like, back in the days with DT and stuff, man, it was just hilarious. And then I don't know if you saw yesterday, and listen, this is nothing to do with me, but it popped up on my reel and I just watched it and it was hilarious. Was Robbie giving Ty a lesson in humility? Like, he was going, you're an arrogant fan. You're an arrogant fan because Ty's having a go at Fulham for never winning anything. And Robbie's going, hey, that's the oldest football club in the world. What are you going on?
Yeah, bro, listen, Ty ain't got mercy for anyone.
I love it. I love it, man. I absolutely, I know I shouldn't. I know I'm paying them essentially, but I watch it and just go, maybe my club's not so, like, my fans aren't so bad. At least we don't expect titles. Like, these guys, but they've gone into meltdown again after like 7 points from 9. I mean, it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but they know that Man City, as bad as Man City are at the moment, apparently, like, bro, they're just pulling away, because that's what Man City do. They just, like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Man City, they never start well. They just have a nice, steady pace. And then they pick it up at the end. That's all they do. And Arsenal are stuttering. That draw at home, that's that's a disaster.
Do you know, you make a good point, Rants, because normally Man City in the first 3 or 4 games always drop a game. They always do. And everyone, that's the moment at the beginning of every year when people go, it's not the same Man City as last year, or Pep's lost it, or blah, blah, blah. 3 wins out of 3. And in all their games, I've not seen Man City have to get out of first gear. No. Like, they're not, like, against Sheffield United, I know Sky were making it into this, it was an epic game. Let's be brutally honest. The game should have been about 15-1 to Man City. And Sheffield United, they should have. They had so many chances. And City and Sheffield United scored because Carl Walker decided he was going to have a brain fart and try and back it in his own box. But and they've got Fulham this weekend, Rants. They've got Fulham. So if you guys take anything off of Arsenal, right, and Man City, I think they should beat Fulham at the Etihad, if we're being brutally honest. That's 12 points from 12. Anything Arsenal drop now, every time City win, it's just point.
It's pressure. That's what it is. And we know how Arsenal are under pressure, bro. It's not great. So it's one of them things where Arteta was saying that he questioned himself at the end of last season, where he needs to be questioning himself now because this party at right back thing's crazy. The fact is, yeah, Arsenal finished second last season, and Man United are terrible right now. And I'm genuinely seeing Arsenal fans saying they don't know how they feel about this game coming up on the weekend. And it's like, hold on,
Hang on.
like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Hang on, they're a mess, and you're worried. Yeah.
bro. I'm like, hold on. You know what I mean? Hold on. Because usually these Arsenal man saying, yo, we're going to smash you. Like, bro, that's what they were saying to me. After the first game of the season, Arsenal man were telling me they were going to smash us, yeah? And literally a couple games later, these guys are like, oh, you know what? Like, the manager's doing this. And I'm starting to see people question Arteta finally. I'm starting to see people genuinely worried that they're not playing good football. And it's like, yo, how did you go from here to here? Like, over the summer where you spent a lot of money. It's like, how have you got that bad?
Right, but this is the thing. This goes back to what I was saying, right? This goes back to what I was saying. At the end of the day, you can go and spend money year in, year out. But for me, what Arsenal needed to do, Arsenal had a good 11. For me, that wasn't their problem.
Sure.
The problem wasn't their 11. With that 200 million, for me, Arsenal should have done a lot more in terms of squad depth.
Reinforce.
Right? Because what you essentially, and people will say I'm a salty Spurs fan, whatever, I'm not. At the end of the day, they've upgraded Xhaka to Rice, right? But no depth. They just upgraded one of the first 11 players.
I don't think they upgraded Xhaka to Rice because
you don't think
Xhaka's left-footed and Havertz is left-footed. So Havertz looks like the replacement for Xhaka, yeah. And also Declan Rice doesn't replace Granit Xhaka's goals as well because Granit Xhaka scores more goals than Declan Rice. So I don't think that was a replacement. You know, like that, because it's Rice don't score goals. You don't score goals.
So if you take that then, you think you've got Yuri and Timbo's brought in as defensive reinforcements, right? Okay, unfortunately for them, don't knock it down. Unfortunately for them, he's got injured. You brought Havertz in, who we don't really need to discuss anymore.
Yeah.
And a keeper in when your goalkeeper was just fine. So I'll look at it and go, how are Arsenal, after £200 million, after having a really good year last year, how are they better than last year? And I don't mean in performances in the first 3 games.
No, I know what you mean. It's almost
how are they
like,
better?
It's not really though. Right. Exactly. It's literally like a lot of the signings were like for like, so they didn't really increase their depth. When you look at their bench, their bench kind of looks the same as last season.
Yeah. I mean, look, what I mean by that is...
Now, look at that. Xhaka got 14 GA in the Premier last season. Rice got 4, bruv. Like,
well, look, Rice is going to have to up that.
But he's not going to, because that's not his game.
That's for them to sort out. I think the difficulty is, when I look at... If you sell your best player, right? For example, you look at like West Ham. West Ham, they have improved their squad depth. They've sold Rice, but bought in 2 centre mids for that money. Brought in another centre back with that money.
Who did they bring in? Right? Kudus and who else?
They've bought in Kudus, Edson Alvarez, and James Ward-Prowse.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Right? Plus they bought in Mavropanos at the back, and today I've seen that they're in talks with. Someone in the chat will tell me if I'm wrong. It's the beauty of being live. Is it Alberto and also who's the other forward who's the other forward West Ham? Etikite from PSG, is it?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you call adding depth to your squad.
Yeah, right? For sure. They've needed backup for Antonio for ages. Do you know what I mean? They've needed it for ages. So,
but I look at Arsenal and I go, have Arsenal done anything? Forget the money. People can talk to me about 200 million, 300 million, whatever. Have they done enough this window that makes Man City go, we're more worried about them this year? Now, obviously, Pep's gonna say he's worried about them in press conferences and he's going to be professional. Yeah. But deep down, he'll be going, have they really added anything to it? Like, have they bought in their version of Haaland? No. Have they brought in any superstars with that 200 million?
No.
Game changers? No.
Any world-class players? No. Do you know what I mean?
Right. If you're, and that's is it 200 or 220? I don't know what they're doing. And this is a Spurs fan saying it. Almost a part of me wanted to see, right, how are you going to go and attack City now? Oh, okay, you're not. And I don't know if they're going to finish second, you know. I just don't know if Arteta's good enough. I really don't.
Bro, I think Arteta's smothering his own work. All he needs to do is play the exact same team as last season
For
and
sure.
add Rice in
Sure.
and swap Rice with Xhaka and play the same team. That's it. Exactly. That's all he needed to do. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to pretend that I watched every single Arsenal game, but I know what the scores were. Play the same team.
Yeah.
Play the
Do you know what
same
they should have
team and
done?
just add Rice in for Xhaka and play the same team. Do you know what I mean? Come on. Is it that
For
hard?
me, what Arsenal should have done is if you've got that 200 million, be sensible with it. For me, if you've got players like Kudos for 45 million euros, get him in, bulk up your squad, get him in. Kudos at 45 million. Centre halves, you know, there's decent centre halves flying around. You know, I don't know what they've done. And listen, you've got a sensible chat. You always have. When I go on to other shows where there's Arsenal fans, they can't see it. They are deluded beyond belief, Rants, that they're like, no, we spent really well. And we're catching up City, and City are weaker. And you're like, City are weaker? What, Doku? Kovacic, who looks like he's got a brand new lease of life.
Baller.
Vardial. You know they're going to bring in one or two more with the last 48 hours. You know it.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to win that league. I'm going to give it 15 points this year. 15 points.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. 15
Yeah, they're going to
points.
keep moving. They're going to keep moving slowly but surely.
It'll be interesting to see if look, I think Arsenal, they're going to win. They're going to win more games than they don't, obviously, because they've got a good team. They have. But for me, I would have gone out of 200 million, make a statement, go on, buy listen, they would be, if they had spent 140 million on Osimhen, for example, right?
Yeah.
As your forward, and then 60 million on a couple of two 30 million pound players, then I'd be saying, okay, you're going to try and bridge the gap. You can't be bringing in Kai Havertz. You can't be bringing in
It's not a statement.
It's not a statement. Is it? It's not.
It's not a statement.
Yeah, but yeah, by the way, Kovacic has looked really good whenever I've seen him now. He looks like, as anyone would, like he's enjoying football again.
Yeah, but come on, the guy was at bloody Real Madrid. Like, people forget that this guy was a good player. He's another one that Chelsea never got the best out of for whatever reason, whether it be injuries, whether it be a system, whether it be a combination of the two. Kovacic has always been a good footballer. You know what I mean? And great shout out to Pep's Talent ID that he said, you know what, pick up someone like him on the cheap, already Premier League battle hardened. Do you know what I mean? We'll just get him in. And he's doing the same thing with the geezer at Wolves now that the Paqueta thing's off. He's saying, you know what, he's already here. It's not a risk. You know, we just bring him straight in. He'll fit into what we're doing. And they've been very shrewd with their business, man. And this comment about Zinchenko being injured, listen, towards the end of the season, Zinchenko was getting sat down anyway because he was getting cooked. So he could have just started the same left back that he was playing last season. Like, he's done some weird things. I've even seen him play, what's his name, Tomiyasu at left back before. Arteta is genuinely confused.
Look, things like this. Look, for me, for me, if you are changing an entire philosophy and way of playing because one player is out injured, then you can't have that stronger belief in that one player. Like right now, City have got players injured. City have got people like Kevin De Bruyne out injured. They lost Gundogan. They lost Mahrez, right? They're not going to change anything.
No.
City aren't going to change the way they keep the ball and keep moving. And, you know, look, for me, you can make the excuses, but Arsenal need to sort it out and quick, I think. Yeah, they've not lost the game yet, but I look at the way Arsenal played the first 3 games. I'm not worried about playing them anymore. Last season, I looked at them and I was like, I'm worried. Like, and they battered us. I'm going to be honest. They embarrassed Spurs twice. They embarrassed us. Yep. This year, I'm looking at it going, I think you can be got at. I don't think they're as strong. Sorry, I think they've gone backwards.
And it shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. And that's why football's strange. It's the same with United, though. I feel like we've spent money, but we've got worse.
No. This is what I was going back to, Rants. It's all well and good. Every window, these teams spending hundreds of millions of pounds. At some point, you've got to settle on a team and just add 1 or 2. I know fans don't like that because fans want loads of big money signings every window. But get an 11, settle with it, and then just add a few around it. Doesn't always need to be these massive 200, 300 million pound windows. And back in the day, it was that. Back in the day, do you remember, like, before all these Sky Sports News and stuff, there would be a picture of your team signings all being paraded at the same time before the season started. And there'd be maybe 3. You'd have maybe 3 players with a manager, and you'd be like, oh, my God, we've signed 3 new players. Now teams are like, this week it's him, and then it's him, and then it's him, and then it's him. And it's like, how do you get any consistency? How do you, I just, and again, that's what City do so well. What City have done is replace players. All they've done this window so far, if I'm not wrong, Laporte out, Vardy in, right? Mahrez out, Doku in, Gundogan out, and Kovacic in. That's all they've done. That's all they've done.
And all they're going to do is give slightly more minutes to players that are another year more seasoned in the system that they're already playing. Like, you don't need a massive squad. And the thing is, people overestimate the size of Man City squad because so many of their players play in so many different positions. We saw Stones play centre-back in the middle. We saw Akanji play left-back, left centre-back. We've seen him play in a 3. We've seen Ake play left-back, left centre-back. We've seen all of their players. We've seen Kyle Walker play right centre-back in a 3, right-back. Do you know what I'm saying? So people think, oh, they got loads of players. But they used the least number of players last season and won the treble.
If you actually look at their bench, I might be proved wrong here. I'm going to look at their last game, right, Rants? This is one of them things where
they got kids on there. Usually they have Rico on there, and they have what's his name as well, Cole Palmer on there.
Here you go. This is their bench from beating Sheffield United. Bub, Oscar Bub, Doku, Foden, Gomez, Lewis, McAtee, Ortega, Palmer, Phillips. And the only 2 players they've got missing through injury are De Bruyne and Stones. So you're right. They're not playing with this magical 25-man squad where they've got 2 players in every position. What they're brilliant at doing, like you said, first of all, to steal your terminology, talent ID. Second of all, if a player gets out injured, Pep Guardiola looks and goes, right, okay, God, hang on, I haven't got any fullbacks. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Boom, can you play there? I want you to invert. Blah, blah. And they're
or he'll just be like, oh, guess what? You're a defender. You're playing defense today. How about that? Do you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, cool. You're not a left back. You're not a centre back. You're a defender. So we've got an injury to a defender. So we're playing you because you're a defender. The good thing about Pep is all the defenders he buys are good on the ball. So because you pick defenders that are good on the ball, it's not a problem for them to go from centre-back to right-back. Like, it's simple. It's because he has a philosophy. Everyone he signs has to be competent on the ball. And if you do that, it's no problem to fill in somewhere else.
Absolutely. Mate, absolutely. I think the way you've got to look at it as well is look at someone like Alvarez. Alvarez is your archetypal. He is a striker. He wants to be in the box scoring goals. Not a City. He's asked to play right.
Playing him in the 10. Madness.
But that's the difference. I look at Arsenal. Can they do that? Have they got the talent to do that across the pitch?
But to be fair, Havertz can play in the 10. He can play in the 8. He can play on the right. He can play in the 9. Do you know what I'm saying? He can play in about 4 or 5 positions. Not well, but he can do it.
Somebody said yesterday, Havertz is a false 9. Actually, no, he's not. Havertz is just a false footballer. And I was like, oh, that's harsh.
It's true, though.
It's just harsh.
It's true, though.
It is. And look, this is the thing. This is why people always tell me I love City. I can't see anyone touching them again this year. I saw people after the other day saying, oh, I don't know, they didn't look great against Sheffield United. And I was like, hang on. Against Sheffield United, they had something like 80% possession, right? I mean, hang on, I'm going to bring this up, right? So in their last game against Sheffield United, right? They look at this, Rants. I don't know if can you see this, right? Can you see that? Look at that red. That's Man City,
yeah,
right?
Bro.
80% possession, 30 shots on goal, right?
Man said they didn't look good.
742 passes, right? 89 dangerous attacks. Look, Yes. And on another day, you could be critical and say they should have scored more goals. But
Yeah.
this is 3 games into the season. On
It's
another
still
day,
pre-season, effectively.
Man City win that game in a month, 2 months' time when they're purring. Man City win that game 6-1, 5-1.
Easy.
Or they don't let in that goal, right? I just can't see anyone touching them, man. This league's going to be exactly like the others. It's going to be a one-team league and everyone else is fighting out.
Yeah, it's gonna be a madness. I'll be honest, man. But yeah, City are the benchmark, and that's why I completely respect the fact that even your manager as well. I respect the fact that he's come in, he's got his way of playing, and he said from the very, very, very get go that he was gonna do things his way. Pep has come in and he's done things his way at Man City, and because of how he identifies players, he doesn't need the depth that everyone's talking about. Like someone said, they replaced Cancelo, who many people thought was the best fullback in the world, with Rico Lewis, a player from the academy. You know, like that. So, that Pep's doing an unbelievable job, and he's just showing you that when someone's a good footballer, there's not very much you need to do in it. Positions, formations, all of these things just overcomplicate the game. If you've got 11 players that are good on the ball and can play, usually little things take care of themselves, innit? All of these so-called this system, that player and this profile and that. If everyone's good on the ball, you don't have anything to worry about. The main problem with my team, Manchester United, is the majority of the players are not good on the ball. That's what it is. Everyone can talk about systems and formations and all these things. No. The reason why Man United are not good is because when you look at most of their players, they're not good on the football. So people can say I'm an aesthetic merchant, or they can say I'm a tech merchant and all the other things that you guys like to make up. But the bottom line is, the reason why Man United are rubbish is because most of their players are rubbish on the ball. You can argue with whoever you want. You know, because there's a reason why Real Madrid, everyone's like, aging midfield, like Modric is 38. Then they go and bop Liverpool off the pitch. And you know what I mean? And Liverpool have got all these legs in midfield. Liverpool's midfield is gonna have too much legs for Real Madrid, and then they get passed off the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, get out of here. Like, the day players start running faster than a football, that's an advert. I saw the new Mbappe advert when he teleports and gets the football. That doesn't happen in real life.
Give me technical footballers all day, every day. This is, again, you watch the Barcelona team of old, right? The Bayern Munich team in their peak, the Man United team in their peak, Man City now. Every player is comfortable on the ball.
All of them.
There's none of this hot potato nonsense. There's none of it. Like Spurs fans now with Johnson, but he's quick. I don't care. Is he technically good? Is he technically good? Because your pace will see you so far.
Yeah.
What you then do with the ball. So for me, I'm all about technicians. And that's why when you look at the success that City have had, Bernardo Silva, Grealish, Foden, De Bruyne, Rodri, every single one of them is technically competent on the football. They will all receive the ball in dangerous areas. They'll all, like the great man, the old Ginola behind me, was always happy to receive the ball when he's got 3 men around him, because technically he's competent to deal with it. Right? That for me, I think you're spot on, Rants. Technical players, not just legs. Not just legs. And that's why Real Madrid's midfield three for so long was banging, because they were getting older.
And they never had pace. They never had legs in there.
Yeah, I agree. It's madness.
So this is what it is. Hey, big up Jamie for the super chat. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. You know what I mean? And big up everyone inside as well, man. Nearly 1.2k in here. Please get the likes up. We haven't even hit 400. Your likes obviously help the channel grow and push it to new audiences. So make sure you get the likes up. The link to Savage channel is in the title. You got another show, haven't you?
Yeah, man. I've got Spurs are playing in an hour. Spurs, we're this is the first time for a long time we're in the League Cup second round, Rants. Normally we don't join till the first. Yeah.
Bro, I didn't know that if you finish below a certain thing, you played in a round earlier, because I've never had to deal with that. I'll be honest. Yeah, I don't remember it. I didn't know that was a thing.
Absolutely. So today we're in the League Cup second round, and we've got Fulham away. So a bit of a tricky tie.
Wow.
They've already said Eric Dyer is not in the squad, so that's interesting. And I'm doing a watch along. So, but what I would say is, listen, come on, guys. Rants is such a good content creator, and only 400 of you have smashed that like button. That is That
That's
is
it.
Daniel Levy levels of tightness, man. That
Bro, we
is
got nearly
that's
1,200 of
poor.
you lot in here. You can do better than that.
That's poor. But listen, Rants, I really do need to shoot because I'm doing
No
that watch
worries.
along.
No
I'll be
worries.
live until about midnight. But if any of your 1,200 did want to subscribe, I'm only 30 away from 10,500. So that would be really appreciated. But thanks for having me on. I've enjoyed it.
No worries. So, guys, make sure you click the link in the title. Subscribe to Football Heritage TV.